Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 26th of August 2023. In today's newspaper discussion, we are going to cover some important articles from the editorial section, and then we are going to cover other important articles from the newspaper. Along with this, we are also going to discuss some map-based topics, and we are going to solve some questions for the prelims exam, and I'm going to give you some questions for the mains exam also. So with this, let us quickly see the first topic, okay? And let's see the list of topics that we are going to cover in today's discussion. So these are the list of articles that we are going to cover. Apart from this, we are going to cover these many articles as well, right? So this is the first topic. So this topic says, Rethink the dynamics of India's fiscal federalism, right? So this article has been written by a very prominent person. He has talked about India's fiscal federalism. So we need to understand what do we mean by fiscal federalism, okay? First of all, once we understand the concept of fiscal federalism, then we are going to understand what are the problems with the current fiscal federalist structure in India. And also we are going to discuss about what are the solutions, right, to the fiscal problems that are currently existing in our Indian economy, right, and Indian polity. So in this article, the author has discussed about one very key important aspect, which is fiscal federalism. Fiscal federalism means how the money that the central government receives, right? Money that the central government receives, how it shares with different states, right? So how it shares among states from the central pool of taxes, right? Central pool of amount that the central government receives. And related to this, like we do have multiple mechanisms in place. The Finance Commission of India looks into these aspects, right? Finance Commission of India recommends the government of India about how the vertical devolution has to be done. Vertical devolution means the amount which is to be transferred from the central government to the state governments, and then how the horizontal devolution should happen means the amount that is earmarked for the state governments, how it will be distributed among different states, that is known as horizontal devolution. So in this article, the author has highlighted about various things related to Indian economy. One of the things that the author has highlighted that it has been, it has been many years since India has got independence, and since independence there has been doubt among the framers of the constitution that how the fiscal federalism will be, taken into account in India. So there are provisions in the Constitution of India also, and they have also mentioned about the Finance Commission of India. The author has also discussed about, right? Author has discussed about various other things. For example, in India earlier we had two-tier system, means at the top level there was the union government, then there were state governments. But later on the government of India has, amended the Constitution of India through Constitutional Amendment, 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. These two constitutional amendment acts has looked into the issue of having a third tier, right, into the governance structure in India. The third tier was known as Panchayati Raj system. Okay, it was known as Panchayati Raj system. However, the Panchayati Raj system has been recognized in the constitution as instrument of self-government. And if I talk about the real picture that is happening in India, so the union government and the state government considers it to be part of local government, means constitutionally we consider them to be institutions of self-government. However, in practice they are called as local government, and they are not given as much autonomy, as much hand holding that they require, that they they expect. So these things are not being done. And apart from this, the author has talked about that the India's intergovernmental transfer system should be decidedly more equity oriented, means the transfer system that is there, so they should be more equity oriented. They should not be, market oriented as presently it is the case, right? The author has also highlighted about various things, right? Various things where the government of India has made a lot of changes. For example, we have done 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, and then we have abolished the Planning Commission of India and replaced the Planning Commission with the Niti Aayog, right? And then the government of India has enacted the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act, which is also known as FRBM Act. These FRBM Act actually, forces the state to fall in line. Then the government of India has enacted Goods and Services Act. And in the Goods and Services Act also, the GST Council has been given the authority, the holding capacity, the holding or controlling level authority has been given to the GST Council. So the thing is, author believes that the current level of fiscal federalism that is there in India, it needs some kind of relook. We need to relook at the fiscal federal structure in India. And here the author has discussed about that, under the changing dispensation, several pieces of central legislation, for example, the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which is also known as MG Narega 2005. And then we have Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act, which is also known as Right to Education Act 2009. And also the National Food Security Act of 2013, right? And many other such kind of central acts, they put some extra burden on the states, okay? They put extra burden on the states. So states have to implement these acts, and while implementing these acts, many a times these states are short of money, okay? They are short of money. And states also have limitation on the borrowings that it can do. And these limitations have been placed through the FRBM Act by the central government, okay? The central government is, let's say, like at a leeway. So they have multiple other avenues to get fund from. So they have many autonomous organization agencies through which, let's say, they can route money. However, in the case of a state government, so they have lesser leeway. They have lesser, let's say, flexibility in these things. So that's why the author feels that we need to look for what the upcoming Finance Commission is going to do, right? Whether the upcoming Finance Commission look into the affair of strengthening the third tier of our, let's say, federal structure, which is the Panchayati Raj system, because the Panchayati Raj system needs an overhaul. It needs some kind of more power. It needs more autonomy in the cases of, let's say, relating to finance. So a lot of things the author has discussed about, and the author has also talked about that although the states are disciplined through Article 293 Clause 3 by the Union and through the FRBM Act, the Union often escapes such controls, okay? And the author has mentioned about the liberal utilization of National Small Saving Fund for extra budgetary finances of central public sector undertakings and central ministries by way of loans. So the thing is, the crux of the idea is that the central government does have many flexibilities to meet its financial needs and requirements. However, the central government has enacted certain legislation which is placing the state government at more resource strain, right? So the thing is, the issue of states must be looked into. They should be given more flexibility. And the thing is, the third tier of the governance, which is the Panchayati Raj system, they need to be strengthened. And the author says that we need to wait and watch how the upcoming Finance Commission is going to look into these affairs, okay? So this topic is rightly written, and this topic is very important for GS paper 2 and also for GS paper 3 of the mains exam, right? You can go through this topic in your free time. So with this, we have another topic. So we are going to look into this topic which says Cleantech, an inclusive green future in India, okay? Cleantech means the technologies that are going to be beneficial for the environment also, right? The green energy, the concept of green energy. For example, earlier most of the vehicles were based on fossil fuels. Now Indian economy has also embraced the e-vehicles, right? So e-vehicles are a greener source, right, of transportation as compared to fossil fuel based vehicles. Similarly, there are multiple other alternatives also. Alternatives, for example, in the case of power generation. So whenever we use solar power, so it is a greener source of energy, and solar power utilizes, let's say, the potential of the solar energy, right? So that's also an alternative. So in this article, the author has said that the Prime Minister of India has talked about that how India is going to, let's say, walk towards towards becoming a net zero carbon emitter by the year of 2070. And before that also, by 2030, Government of India has adopted sustainable development goals, and to meet those goals, we have already taken many initiatives, right? Government of India has taken many initiatives that also includes intended nationally determined contributions. So in this article, the author has given examples of so many projects that we are running. For example, the projects different initiatives that promote green economy approach. So these are let's say like one of the thing is let's say biomass powered cold storage which is helping farmers in Maharashtra, and solar dryers converting throwaway tomatoes into sun dried ones in Andhra Pradesh. And so they have also made the author has given many other similar examples, that these examples showcases that how let's say alternative sources of energy, how alternative technologies can promote a transition to clean tech, okay, transition to clean tech. And these clean tech must be made available to the grassroots section of the society also, to the let's say third tier towns also, to the villages as well. And for that, the author has cited about many research projects. For example, research at Council on Energy, Environment and Water shows that just 12 of such clean tech solutions have the potential to impact at least 37 million livelihoods, or about 16% of the rural population. Okay, so author says that what are the steps that we need to scale up, what are the steps where we need to put more, let's say, energy on, what are the steps where like the government of India must focus more. So these steps are: first, leverage the existing government programs supporting livelihoods. For example, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana that extends collateral free loans, okay, for micro enterprises. It can be used to enable adaptation for clean tech solutions. Similarly, the author has talked about another example, like the Pradhan Mantri formalization of micro food processing enterprises scheme that supports the adoption of technology among micro food enterprises. Okay, and likewise, the author has also talked about Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana that can be leveraged towards adopting solar refrigerators and dryers for fishing communities. So the thing is, the author is saying that at grassroots level, at the village level, at the rural level, the government of India should promote usage of alternative technologies that are greener technologies, that have, let's say, lesser potential of contributing to global greenhouse gases. And for that, the government should try to, let's say, diverse the funds from the existing scheme, so that the existing scheme can itself be supportive of, let's say, moving towards a cleaner technology. Okay, so this cleaner technology will be inclusive green future in India. Okay, so this is the, let's say, crux of the article. You can go through this article to understand a little more. This topic is important for GS paper 3 and also GS paper 2. Okay, GS paper 3 under Indian economy section, okay, and also environment and ecology section. GS paper 2 means equitable distribution of resources. Okay, so that will be part of GS paper 2. So with this, we will move to the next topic quickly. Now we have a question for you. You can answer this question. It says, what is green economy? How can green economy lead towards sustainable development? Okay, so this question is very important question. You need to write an answer to this question. After writing an answer to this question, you can share your answer with us at my email address. I'm going to evaluate and share the evaluated copy with you. Okay, Jahidul@lukmaanias.com. Write an answer, and after writing answer, share it with us, right? So we are going to evaluate and share the evaluated copy. So with this, like, we have another topic. This topic says Pragyan traverses 8 meters on the moon. So as we know that Indian Space Research Organization has made a soft landing of the lander module on the surface of the moon, right, in the south pole of the moon. And there, after doing a soft landing, from the lander came out the rover. Okay, inside the lander itself, lander module, we had a rover module, and that rover module has been made to walk, made to travel on the surface of the moon. So it has let's say traveled 8 meters on the surface of the moon, right? So ISRO has shared this particular detail, and ISRO has also talked about those components that have been, let's say, made to operate on the surface of the moon. So these components are mentioned: the rover payloads like laser induced breakdown spectroscope, in short it is known as LIBS. Then we have alpha particle X-ray spectrometer, which is known as APXS. They are turned on. So most of the payloads that are on the lander module and rover module, they have been let's say turned on, and they have started giving, let's say, data back to us. Okay, they have started giving data back to us. Now we need to understand that the rover module, after doing in situ scientific experiment, the rover module is going to give the data. Okay, it's going to give the data to the lander module, and then the lander module is going to give data to the earth, okay, to the stations that are based on earth. So this is very important, that the rover is not directly giving information to us. Rover is first giving the information to the lander, and from lander we are getting the information on earth, right, on the ground stations in earth, right? So with this, we will see, we will try to solve some questions. Also, we have another topic. This topic is related to the previous topic itself. This topic says, why did Chandrayaan-3 land on the near side of the moon? Now we need to understand what is near side of the moon, what is far side of the moon. Okay. For that, let me draw, let's say this is the moon. Okay. Let me take some other color. Let's say this is the moon, right? And let's say this is the south pole of the moon. This is the north pole of the moon. The lander has been made to, let's say, land here. Here, over here. So this is south pole of the moon. This is around 69.32 degree south. Then 32.434 degree east, like that. So they have made it to land over here. This is considered to be the near side of the moon. Why near side of the moon? Because the if I talk about earth moon structure, let's say this is earth and this is moon. The moon always faces, let's say, a particular direction towards earth, and while moon is, let's say, revolving around the earth, it also completes one revolution, means they are tidally locked. This phenomena is known as tidal locking. Okay, this is known as tidal locking. Because of tidal locking phenomena, around 60% of the moon is always visible from earth, and rest of the percent is not visible from earth directly. Okay, so there have been some space programs of different other countries, like of China and of United States of America. Of China, there is a mission which is known as Chang 4 mission, and of USA it is Apollo mission. Okay, so Apollo is of USA and Chang 4 is of China. So these missions, they have, let's say, explored the far side of the moon, the darker side of the moon, because that is not visible from earth, right? So now we have made it to land over here. Why in the let's say, near side? This is considered to be near side of the moon, because here on the near side of the moon, the terrain on the surface of the moon, it is smooth. Okay, the terrain is smooth, and the lander and rover, they are easily able to travel right over here. So that's why we have done. So in this question, in this topic, they have answered that why did Chandrayaan land on the near side of the moon? Near side means on the southern pole of the moon, which is, let's say, near the earth, where sunlight is received, and it is made to land very near to a place where, sunlight is let's say, never received, like that. So here it says plains on the near side are more conducive to space missions because they have flat terrain. So this is the reason. Okay, so this is the reason. So it is important that you understand these things, because many a times the UPSC may ask a question in the prelims exam related to this topic. Okay, now we have another topic which says concrete alliance. What? Concrete alliance. So what is this concrete alliance? So it was there in the editorial section of the newspaper, page 6. It says BRICS found new purpose with expansion but contradictions too. So recently we have seen that the BRICS summit, 15th BRICS summit, okay, 15th BRICS summit was conducted Okay, 15th BRICS summit was conducted in South Africa. Okay, so there India has participated. All the existing members have participated physically except Russia. Russia has participated virtually. I mean, Russian president has, let's say, participated online. So there, just just before the conclusion of the BRICS 15th BRICS summit, these countries, these existing members have decided to include 6 new members, right? 6 new members, and these 6 new members include, right? They include Iran, Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, right? Among 6, like these are 3. So Iran and Saudi Arabia, they have been, let's say, hitherto they were rival to one another. So they had, let's say, not good ties with one another. So they have been added. So there is contradiction between those members itself. Apart from this, the Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, they are also not at a good friendly relation with one another. Then, in BRICS itself, India and China, I mean, they are, although they are neighbors, but they do have a lot of, let's say, border issues between them. So there are contradictions within the BRICS group. However, last year the BRICS members, they have said that, the BRICS countries are open for expansion. They are open for welcoming new countries, and around 40 countries have expressed their interest of joining BRICS. Out of those 40 countries, 40, right? 22 countries have made formal applications. And after doing a scrutiny, they have decided that 6 new members will be added, right, in the BRICS. Okay, 6 new members will be added in the BRICS. So that's why this article has been rightly said that it is a concrete alliance. So it may seem that this alliance is not functioning well, but the thing is, in actual scenario, this alliance has done so many things. For example, it has established the new development bank. It has established contingency reserve arrangement. So it has done many good things also. That's why there is a willingness from other countries also to join, right, this BRICS alliance. Now it says, consider the following countries: Syria, Argentina, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Italy, Ethiopia. Which of the above countries are proposed for the BRICS membership? Means these countries have been proposed to join as full members of the BRICS. So it is Argentina, it is Saudi Arabia and it is Ethiopia. So this is answer B, 2, 4 and 6, right? Among 3 more countries, okay? United Arab Emirates is also there. Then Iran is there. And there is another country. So in all, 6 countries have been invited to join as full members of the BRICS summit. Okay, so that's why this question has been asked. So we have included an answer also. You can go through this in your free time, right? And so these are the initiatives for BRICS. It is also important that you should understand these initiatives. One of the initiative is New Development Bank. Other is Contingent Reserve Arrangement. Then we have BRICS Payment System. We have, let's say, Customs Agreements. And we have Remote Sensing Satellite of BRICS also. Then BRICS is planning to launch its own currency system. So these are some of the initiatives of the BRICS countries. Okay, these are the initiatives of the BRICS countries. So you can go through this map in free time. So this article was also there in today's newspaper. It says 28 feet Nataraja sculpture from Tamil Nadu to grace G20 venue in Delhi. So there was a Nataraja sculpture in Tamil Nadu. So this sculpture is being brought from Tamil Nadu to Delhi during the BRICS, let's say during the G20 summit. So this is the image of a Nataraja. Okay, so here you can see the image. It has many, it has many features in it. So these features, once you do a close look into it. So on one hand, on the right hand, we see there is a damru. And on the left hand, we see some other thing, right? So Nataraja has 4 hands, which is, let's say, visible. So now, we have asked a question related to this, right? This question is for the prelims exam. This says, identify the type of sculpture being described below. So they have described this. Its upper right hand holds the drum, okay, signifying the sound of creation, and the upper left hand holds the eternal fire, representing destruction. So on one hand, it has, upper right hand, it has damru, which shows the sound of creation. On left hand, there is, let's say, fire that shows destruction. and it is important piece of Chola sculpture. It has been shown balancing itself on its right leg and and suppressing the this upper smara. So select the correct answer using the code. Means like this is the description of the, this is a short description of the Nataraja sculpture itself. So correct answer for this question will be option A. Option A will be the right answer in this case. Okay. So with this, we will move to see the solution. So we have included the solution also. Now we have another topic. This topic is important. It says Indore best city, MP top state in smart cities contest. Okay. So there was a contest recently. This is known as a Smart Cities Award contest. Okay. Smart Cities Award contest. Okay. Smart Cities Award contest, ISAC 2022. So this was the fourth edition of the Smart Cities Award contest, and in this contest, Indore emerged as the topmost city in India. Madhya Pradesh emerged as the topmost state. Among union territories, Chandigarh emerged as the topmost union territory. So in this article, they have mentioned about all those states and union territories that have performed exceptionally. And also they have mentioned that this particular ISAC, okay, means Smart Cities Award contest. It was earlier conducted in 2018, 19, 20, right? In 21, it was not conducted because of COVID-19. This is the fourth time that it was conducted. Smart Cities Award, let's say, this contest 2022. So this has been conducted, right? So it is important that you remember the name of the cities also, okay? Name of the cities. So now we have another topic. This topic is important. It says Supreme Court seeks report on Cauvery water release availability. So this topic is related to Cauvery water, like river water sharing dispute. Okay, This dispute lies between the state of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Karnataka is the upper riparian state from where the Cauvery river originates, and it flows through Karnataka to Tamil Nadu. So Tamil Nadu, receives water from Cauvery, and earlier there have been disputes also. And for resolution of that dispute, they have set up a body which is known as Cauvery Water Management Authority. This Cauvery Water Management Authority has taken a decision that this much amount of water should be released by Karnataka for Tamil Nadu. However, Karnataka has delayed, delayed in releasing the water. So that's why Tamil Nadu has approached the Supreme Court of India to seek a direction for the Karnataka government so that Karnataka releases the water. Now the thing is, the Supreme Court of India has directed the Cauvery Water Management Authority to overlook into the issue of, releasing of water. Now the Supreme Court of India has sought a report from the Cauvery Water, Cauvery Water Management Authority related to this. Okay, so this is just an ongoing thing related to the topic that has emerged long back. I had already discussed about it in the past as well. Now we have another topic. This topic says All India Muslim Personal Law Boards. Okay, All India Muslim Personal Law Boards stand short on Nikah, Halala and Muta. Okay. So Nikah, Halala and Muta are different forms of doing marriage in among people who follow Islamic religion, who follow Muslim, who are Muslims. So recently the Law Commission of India has asked the All India Muslim Personal Law Board to give their input related to Nikah, Halala and Muta. So one of the board member has said that the Law Commission of India is unnecessarily raising the issue, which is not being done in India also. Muta is not performed in India, and in Nikah Halala it is done lawfully in India. Okay, so this is just an upcoming debate on this issue. Okay, so they have sought this thing related to implementing Uniform Civil Code. Okay, you might be knowing Uniform Civil Code is part of Article 44 of the Constitution of India, and the present central government wants to implement Uniform Civil Code. Okay, so related to that This topic was there. Now we have another topic. It says India and Greece pledge to upgrade ties to become strategic partners. Okay. So recently the Prime Minister of India has visited Greece, and before Prime Minister Narendra Modi, before him, the Prime Minister of India was Indira Gandhi, who has visited Greece in Athens in 1983. After 1983, now the Prime Minister of India has visited, and this Prime Minister has been, Indian Prime Minister has been given an award which is known as Grand Cross of the Order of Honor by the President of Greece. Okay, so this award has been given, and now they have thought of, let's say, improving the bilateral relation between these two countries, and they are going to upgrade the bilateral ties to the level of strategic partnership. Okay, so they have upgraded the bilateral ties to the level of strategic partnership with Greece. So that's why this article is there. This is important for GS paper 2 of the mains exam, okay, under international relations. Now this is another topic. This topic is again very important. It says G20 ministers agree to map global value chains, links MSME. So recently there was a meeting of the, of the industry and commerce ministers, let's say trade ministers of these G20 countries. And after the meeting, India's minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal has made some statements, and these statements are mentioned in this article. They say, the key takeaways from the meeting are that G20 trade and investment ministers reach agreement on a host of issues with 3 key annexes having the juice of the accord. So they have mentioned about those 3 key annexes. Annexes means additions to the, let's say, to the agreements that have been reached between these countries. So one of the thing that the first annex is about G20 generic framework for mapping global value chains and making them more inclusive, sustainable and shock proof. The second annex relates to MSME, including other emerging economies and providing them trade related information. The third one is about principles on digitization of trade documents. Okay, so these things are the key outcomes of the meeting of the trade and investment ministers of these countries. Okay, trade and commerce, investment ministers, etc. of these countries. Now, this is another topic from IR, International Relations. It's important under GS paper 2. It says, Tehran and New Delhi drop foreign arbitration clause in Chabahar port issue. So, Chabahar is the name of a port which is lying, which lies in Iran. Recently, Iran has joined as one of the member of BRICS. Now, BRICS is, let's say, 11 member body. India is already an existing member of BRICS. Okay, India is a founding member of BRICS. Now the thing is, Iran and India has together decided that whatever issue that arises, out of Chabahar port thing, so we are not going to take it to international courts. We are not going to take it to international arbitration courts. Okay, arbitration is one of the dispute resolution mechanism. Okay, so for resolving the dispute among different countries, so there are different methods, mechanisms in place, right? So they have dropped this particular clause that we do not need to seek any foreign, any foreign countries, foreign courts issue in this. We are going to follow international norms, and we are going to, let's say, resolve the issue among ourselves itself. Okay, they are going to follow international norms. So this is the thing. These two countries have decided something which is fruitful for them, and it's going to bring India more close to Iran. Because Chabahar port, earlier China was doing some kind of, let's say, investments. India has also started doing investment, and now this shows greater predictability in resolving of issues between them. So where is Chabahar port located? So this is the location of Chabahar port. Okay, so this is where Chabahar port is located. Okay, so this is Iran. So what, how Chabahar port is helpful? Because from India, we can send cargo ships, and it is going to carry goods, and these goods can be shifted from India to Iran and from Afghanistan, and we'll be able to bypass, we will be able to bypass Pakistan in that case. Okay, so for bypassing Pakistan, we are using Chabahar port of Iran. So that's the thing. And this image is very important. It shows international north-south transport corridor, and Iran is a member of it, India is a member of it, okay, international north-south transport corridor. As part of these corridor, there are 13 member countries, okay, there are 13 member countries. So the route that you can see over here, okay, so this is the route, okay, new maritime route, Suez Canal route, existing roads. So like, these routes are mentioned over here. It's very important that you pause the video and go through this route. If possible, draw this route once again, and also learn about the member countries who are member of this international north-south transport corridor, because it can be asked in the prelims exam, right? Now we are going to solve this question. It says, with reference to Chabahar port, consider the following statements. One of the statements says, it is located in Gulf of Oman. This is right. We have already seen this in a map. Second, it enables India to bypass Pakistan and access Afghanistan. This is also we have seen. So both these statements are correct. Correct answer will be option C. If you want, I will show it again. So this is Chabahar port. India can reach from here to Afghanistan. We will be able to bypass Pakistan. Okay. This is Oman and this is Gulf of Oman. So it is there on Gulf of Oman. Okay. So it is mentioned Gulf of Oman. So that's why this is right. We have included explanation also to this question. You can go through it, right, in free time. So that's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.